Well, these guys did get a personal greeting from the Prime Minister. Stephen Harper was in Toronto to meet two pandas who arrived from China. The pair has been sent to live in Canada for at least 10 years. Tangible proof, say many, that relations between the two countries are strong. And given that long-term lease apparently expected to get better. Aaron Saltzman has this story for us tonight. Aaron.
Peter, the Prime Minister and China's ambassador to Canada were both on hand to personally greet the pandas as they arrived. Proof that this is far bigger than just two cute bears crossing borders.
Get your cameras ready, and looks like Panda Express is about to arrive.
The pandas traveled on their own private flight, international jet setters awaited by a crowd of cameras and dignitaries. The special panda delivery crew turned the first of two custom-designed travel carriers as it was being unloaded, so the media could capture the bears' first moments on Canadian soil and their meeting with a beaming Prime Minister.
I am truly delighted to officially welcome to Canada, I know we all are, to officially welcome to Canada a pair of China's national treasures, Arshun and Damao.
The bears are a boon for the Canadian zoos they'll call home for the next 10 years. The last time pandas visited the Toronto Zoo more than 25 years ago, attendance doubled. This time, they're renovating a special enclosure here to make sure the bears are comfortable. They're used to the cold, but not the heat.
If it gets hot in the summer, we have indoor areas that are all completely air conditioned. We have misting systems for them outside. We have this big pool, and pandas kind of like to just lounge just like us when it's hot in a nice pool.
They're planning to increase the cost of admission and expecting a run on merchandise, and they'll need it to offset the reported $8 million cost of the enclosure and $3 million per year in expenses. The value to the Canadian government is far higher. It says it's not paying anything for the pandas, but consider Stephen Harper's involvement. He's gone from being critical of China's human rights record in opposition to lobbying hard for increased trade as Prime Minister, a sign of the growing importance of Canada's relationship with China.
We always imported a lot from China, but now the only country to which we export more goods is the United States. So China has become very important to our way of living, our standard of living.
The panda's arrival shows China also understands that.
This shows that our people-to-people relationship, people-to-people exchanges has become more and more and strong, and will further promote a better understanding between the people.
After their stay in Toronto, the Bears will spend another 5 years in Calgary. The great hope, of course, that the pair will breed successfully while in Canada. But any offspring they produce will ultimately be returned to China. Peter?
All right, Aaron, thank you. Aaron Saltzman in Toronto. The panda's arrival was a long time coming, about a decade. There were years of intense negotiations between Canadian and Chinese officials. The Toronto Zoo sent a delegation at one point. In 2009, Prime Minister Harper and his then Environment Minister, Jim Prentice, raised the matter with the chair of the National People's Congress in Beijing. At least one zoo board member also credits former Governor General Michaëlle Jean for helping to secure the agreement. She apparently spoke directly to the Chinese president during a state visit in July 2010. The deal was struck later that year.